Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Yeah, day 3 on the road. Good day, good day. We went down and did Mammoth Caves today. Tested the RF or the RP with the EF 24mm 2.8 lens. Image stabilized, really good lens for astro, but in a cave, thought it would be a perfect opportunity to give it a bit of a test run. So that was pretty cool, and it came up pretty good. Probably not as good as the iPhone, but the iPhone 12 video was sensational this morning. Super happy with it. I could not be. Let me just check. Could not be happier. Sorry, just checking the sound. Making sure I thought I forgot. Yeah, it was just crystal. On those ultra wide lens was a little dark, but the 1x and 2x zoom, yeah, just lit it up. It was really good. Super impressed. So I took a variety of photos with the iPhone. I was going to take the Sigma, adding the 35 down. I knew that'd go really well there, but I thought, anyway, I'm going to test this if I just leave it on the camera and just shoot everything with it and see what it can do. It is image stabilized. It's renowned to be a fantastic lens. It's not what I got it for. I've got it more for doing the Milky Way stuff, but I need to sort of, I guess, get a feel of it. So it was pretty cool, and to see what it does on the RP. Good news is RP, I had that up to, I think, at stage like 25,000 ISO. I'm not sure how grainy those photos are going to come out, but I had a quick look when I was downloading the images on my makeshift office behind the house, and it came up pretty good. There were some really nice shots. So yeah, pretty happy with that. It was a cruisy little morning, not a massive photo experiencer. Jack wanted to rush through and I had to carry him up the stairs, but he had a ball, so that was fun. And I've been there before, as I think I said to you yesterday, in yesterday's show. I'd come down on when I did like a 1 day, all the southwest, all the way down to Cape Balloon Lighthouse and back up. So I sort of rushed through, and it was pretty good then. I had the M50, so it'd be interesting to see the difference between the RP and the M50 and how that went. So that was pretty cool. Other than that, I do have some tech news. We're doing a washing day, so after that we went to a maze just outside Margaret River, a maze. I've never been to a maze before, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty well maintained. We did get lost many times, and other than that, it was pretty cool. Not too much else there, not too much photo opportunities. I did a bit of a time lapse on the iPhone 12 Pro. I thought that would be pretty cool to go through there and I cut it out intentionally just in case someone used it to cheat the system. But some different. Jack out of the ball. He was getting pretty tired. I think he was a bit smashed. He had a late night last night and he didn't sleep, and he got up early again this morning, so he's a bit burnt out by then. And it was a little bit temperate, so it has been hot. There is a cool breeze coming through the camp, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, yeah, all good. So I do have some techniques and some exciting stuff, and I'm going to lead off with probably the biggest one of the lot, and that is the Canon R1, or we assume it's going to be called the R1. That's what everyone's talked about. I can't imagine Canon calling it something else, maybe a 1RX or something, but I think R1 would be just perfect, very simple, and keep it in line with everything else. So that's pretty cool. Now they're talking about it before July, before the Olympics, so we should see a release for that. Obviously it's going to have a similar sort of a structure, body, just like my old 1DS that I had. That was built like a brick shit house. They're amazing. If you've never felt one in your hands, I did get to try the 1DX Mark III at a Canon event here in Perth, and that was pretty insane. They're just so well built, just like you can see why you're paying $10,000 for them, without a doubt. They are just like ridiculously rock solid. So very cool, and I'm sure it's going to have everything. Now the big rumours on it coming from Canon Rumours. He does have more info, but he's not allowed to release it as yet. There'll be NDNAs galore on this thing. What he could say is the rumours are quad pixel AF, which is pretty same. We've got dual pixel AF now, which is very much been the standard for a while. Sony's autofocus is probably autofocus. That was very posh. Sony's autofocus has come up a world and probably is the ultimate at the moment. And then that Canon dual pixel is pretty darn close. Quad pixel, you'd think is it going to be twice as good as the dual pixel? One would hope so, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty cool anyway. So like we've got eye autofocus and all that in the new cameras. We know how good they are. We've seen the stuff with the birds and for the bird shooters and the ridiculous that eye stuff does. So you can imagine what this quad auto pixel is going to be like. Now also the other rumour of that is global shutter. Now that's more of a video trait. So I don't know if it's going to come for that. The R1 is going to be a high frame speed production camera. This is built for Olympic sports, bird life, action, robust, drop it, it's okay, pick it up, keep rolling, that sort of scenarios. It's not a video camera. That's the R5 sort of territory. So I don't know if they might just chuck it in there anyway, because it is going to be a $10,000 camera. But I'm assuming it's going to be around the 7,000 US and about 11,000 that it costs for the 1DX here. And yes, global shutter. That's basically, so when you move in and the lines sort of start curving when you're doing high speed and you've got video, and just say you're in a car and everything starts, if you play it back, you get some straight lines that sort of start bending. So that's what happens when you get rolling shutter. So this global shutter cancels out all that. It's like the premium. Once you get that in video, it's pretty insane. So if it does have that, it's going to be a rock solid bit of kit. 8K, maybe they're talking possibly it might come out. Who knows? So that's, I mean, they've already got in the R5. Whether they just chuck it in to do that again, it's not a videos centric camera. So what I'd like to see is they've already got 20 frames a second. They're going to have to up the game on that. We're going to see 24, 25, 30 frames a second out of this R1. You get that with autofocus and 30 frames a second. That's what mechanical or whatever, 30 electronic, 25 mechanical or something ridiculous. That's probably more so what I'd expect out of this R1 with some just ridiculous. Obviously, there's no mechanic. It's going to be mirrorless. I don't know why I said that, but like just something along those lines. Super high speed, super. I don't think it's going to be a monster sensor either. Too, these guys want to get those images in and out, and boom, they're not printing shit. They're going to bump it out. So maybe a 24 to 30 megapixel sort of range sensor. New sensor, maybe a new processor to get that high speed stuff happening. Who knows? So we might see Digic 11 and some ridiculous high speed frames. That's probably more so. Global shutter maybe for the new R5 next year, probably better suited, or something along those lines, or an R2 or an R3 or whatever they're going to do that way. Maybe they might do an R2 video monster. So to sort of have the R1 as a photographer, R2 as a video monster, it's same price but just ridiculous video specs built for video only. So see how we go. Now there is an R5 firmware update coming in February. Some good stuff for that. Clog 3, which is essential. That's going to be a big thing for all the video guys. As I said, this is the video camera on Canon's range for the hybrids, and that's going to be pretty cool. Also 1080 120 frames a second. That's going to be awesome. I'm sure the guys and girls that shoot with the R5 will love that. That's going to give some extra funny stuff and some extra funky gear to test out, and also raw light video. So very, very cool. So interesting stuff there in that firmware. February, no date on that, but if you just want to check in on Canon rumours, you'll be able to get the latest date. Here's all the guff. He's very well connected. Now, what we got on, we'll stick with the camera stuff. We'll save the funny stuff for last. Sony Alpha, so that's your A7S3, RS3, your A9, A7R4s, all those amazing cameras. They've got a bigger release coming up on the 26th of January. So that's Australia Day here, but this is America time, so it'll be 27. So if you're not too hungover from Australia Day, you can definitely get online and check that out. I'm sure it'll be on the Sony YouTube page. They've probably got a dedicated link on their US website. I wouldn't worry about checking Australia's website. They're generally a couple of months behind. But yeah, look, pretty cool. Canon rumours seems to think this might be their 8K camera release, an A9, the new A9 with 8K video, some crazy video specs in there to go up against, say, the R5 a bit more. But I'm not sure how it's going to do that, because that A7S III has already trumped the R5. From what I've seen on both sides, the A7S III is just a ridiculous beast. You get goods and bads from everyone, but for what it can do in low light, which is probably realistically a lot of your video stuff you do is in low light. Even for me, it's either mornings or afternoons or nights. So it's rare, yeah, in the middle of the day doing video on something. I do in the desert, but that's where the iPhone is quite handy. It can do a bit of everything. So that's sort of why the A7S III is really, really good. But look, that's going to be huge. They're talking possible 8K 30 frames a second for that camera. Yeah, very, very cool. Can't wait to see what they come up with. Sony has been on a bit of a tear for since June. They just hit every mark they wanted to and smashed it out of the ballpark, I think. Now, 7 Artisians, big fan of theirs. I used their 12mm 2.8 for on the M50 for a good 3 or 4 months. Loved it. Got some amazing sunset photos. Really hooked me. Hook, line, and sinker into photography again. It's a beautiful lens. It's a manual lens. Very cool. Well, they've got a 10mm 2.8 coming out. It's a fisheye. I'd be interested to see how sort of fisheye is and what you can do with it. But a 10mm, it's a rock solid bit of kit. Metal body, 570 grams, so half a kilo, so it's got a fair bit of weight. 178 degree angle, 1.17 or 17 centimeter minimum focus distance. So that's like here. Yeah, that here, that's ridiculous, man. So that is awesome. They've also got 3 new APS-C lenses to come out, whether they'll be in the Canon side as well for the M mounts or what they're looking at there. It'd be interesting to see which way they go. They've got a lot of really good lenses, and I'm super fan of theirs. Definitely quality is there for the price. You can't go wrong. As I said, that 12mm, super huge fan of that. It's a beautiful lens, and definitely at the right price. So definitely, if you're looking for something super ultra wide, this could be a great little lens to chuck in there at the right price. I don't think it's going to be ridiculous price, so worthwhile. And then last but not least, a little bit of fun. ScoMo, our Prime Minister, bit of a tool. I don't know what his media marketing manager was thinking about, but when you hold up a missile in your hands, or it's not a missile, it's like a 110mm round or something ridiculous. It's like a tank round or something. Had it in his hands, and if that's in any newspaper, that's going to have more dick pics drawn all over it. It's going to be insane, the amount of dick pics that's going to be turned into. He ain't going to live that photo down. What a massive mistake. He's been copping the heat for something about a hose or something. I don't know. I don't watch the normal telly. But to see that photo and just the look on his face, it just looks like, someone's just smashed him over the head, stole his chocolates or something. It's quite funny to see them cop it back. So it was pretty fun. And that's about it. Casual afternoon. Washing on. Boom. Another video in the bag. That's all uploaded and saved. I don't know where I'm going to get to edit all this. This might be one of those trips where I just film everything on the trip, and then for the next 3 months just post a ton of videos. And I'm sort of looking that way because I'm actually really enjoying the time off. I think yesterday at the beach, when I talked to you, I had that another day, another vlog there. That's probably the first time I've relaxed and not thought about work in a long time or anything, just been able to switch off and play with Jack. So it was pretty cool. So I'm really not going to push the editing side as much at the moment. I know I've got a ton of stuff there to get out to you. And even I've run out of stuff on the Insta account today, so I'm going to try and post some bits and pieces from Insta on as I go each day. Just pick a good photo from each day from the iPhone and go from there. Cool. All right, guys, that's it. Another day done and dusted. So whether you're coming this way or that way, I'll see you tomorrow. day 4, road trip. Peace.